All right. Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo to all of you. It is January 2025. What do they say? Time flies when you're having fun. Of course, we want to welcome you to Real Talk with E.V.E. here on this beautiful Sunday evening. I hope you all are well rested from the Christmas and the New Year's festivities with your loved ones. And so some of us actually prefer to have peace and quiet. And so that's how both Christmas and New Year's were. I'm just blessed to be here once again to bring you a great guest and more information. I'm all about solutions. I can talk about the problem, but there's a solution right there with it. And so I'm bringing back by popular demand because I have been sharing about this wonderful product, but um, it's just not enough to share, not enough opportunities to share. And so I want to bring back this opportunity. The beginning of the year, we got to think about ourselves. We got to think about how do we love ourselves and how well do we take care of ourselves. And that's been an issue. I've been seeing that people wait until something happens in their health. They don't go see a dentist. They don't go see a doctor. And even if they're having symptoms, let's not do that to ourselves. Let's love ourselves some more this year so that we can love others more as well. And so this is Real Talk with E.V.E. every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you'd like to advertise your product and or service, please contact me 219-262-7009 or info@ethereallifestyle.com. I'll put that on the bottom of the screen as well. That's info@ethereallifestyle.com. And that's ETHREAL and then the word lifestyle. E the real stands for me. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up brother Charles Burns Jr. He's been here before, and I just want to thank him for coming on. He could be vacationing somewhere else, but he made time to come on Real Talk with E.V.E. Good evening, brother Charles. How are you?
Good evening, Sister Eve. Great and happy New Year
Yes, happy New Year.
2025.
It's
Wow, in
certainly great.
1986, could you dream of 2025? It's
No.
like it was, well, they made movies about years like this, like it was the unattainable future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not too long ago, we were worrying about the K was that K
Oh,
two
Y2K. Yeah,
Y2K. I'm
that
saying
yeah,
backward.
like the world
Y2K.
the world was going to end the year
Right.
2000.
And we're like, oh, the computers are gonna crash. Oh, it's coming to an end. Oh, and
Right.
here we are, 2025. My goodness, 25 years later. A
Only
whole
the Lord
quarter of
knows
a
the
century.
end.
I'm telling you, we shouldn't worry about what the future holds as long as we know who holds the future.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Well, welcome back to Real Talk with
Thank
EVE.
you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we got some real talk to share. I mean, talk about products, talk about books, talk about amazing creations that were created for our lives to be better, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just been an exciting uh, journey so far. And it is all about helping other people
That's right.
maximize their quality of life, and from the spiritual and to the everyday things that people do. What can we do to increase someone's bottom line should be the focus. That's why we were put here on earth, to
Yeah.
rule in the place of gifting that God has given us, and not to rule over people but to rule over our gifting. And
Mhm.
what God told Abraham, you will be I will bless you and bless you to be a blessing. So we're endeavoring to do that.
For sure, for sure. And we often, I shouldn't say we because I can't count me or you in it, but when we're ministering, when we're preaching, we always include ourselves, right? We say we,
uh,
right?
mhm.
So that no one feels like we're, something special. We're not, although in God's eyes, we're all special. And
Right.
so we tend to run on things, not realizing, is it going to help us or is it going to hurt us, right? We don't
Hmm.
ask many questions. Well, The doctor said, this is what I need. And we don't tend to ask questions because we're
Right.
concerned about our health. Although, I don't know if you've noticed in the Midwest and probably somewhere out there in this country, maybe in another country, I can speak of this country,
Mhm.
that just down a couple miles, you see a lot of medical facilities being open.
Oh yeah, and it's, you know what I think I've seen the most of, and I don't know, are we okay with calling them out? But the
This is real
dialysis
talk, Charles.
centers
The dialysis centers, cancer
everywhere, and
centers,
it's the
clinics.
one right across the street from another one, and they're run by different companies. But what all that is proof of, in the new hospitals, have you
Yes,
seen the new,
clinics,
like Crown
hospitals,
Point? They have
urgent centers.
a perfectly good hospital, and erect a brand new one from the ground up, and I mean state of the art,
Yes,
because they're setting
yes.
up
They're
for
setting
what
us up for what?
it's what they know. They're setting it up for all the sick people. They know,
There's
first of all, we have an aging population, right?
Come on now.
So we
We're
have
all
an aging
aging.
population,
Yes.
and then we have a population that doesn't treat themselves well. They don't do healthy things.
No.
And so the medical community, they know this, and it's smart. If you know that a trend is about to happen and you get ahead of it, well, you're going to win. You're
And it's
going to win.
profit.
So
Profit over
you
over
set up
health.
your souvenir shop outside the Bulls game, and you spend 3 days doing iron-ons, because after the game people are going to buy a shirt.
That's
And
right.
that's what the same thing with the prison systems and with the
Hmm.
education system. So
Exactly.
they build prisons based on what the third grade scores are, I believe I heard.
Exactly. Oh yeah, no, that is so true. And that's what I am adamant about telling educators. What are we doing it for our third graders? That's the grade that's so important, that will foretell their future, because they are building cells. You know that
Yeah.
prison, school to prison pipelines, people, y'all better look at that. This
Yeah.
is nothing but truth. And
And
so I say it's not the system, it's the people running the system. The system
it's,
doesn't run on its own.
well, absolutely. And unfortunately, that can only happen when you have a population that is asleep.
That's right.
They want someone else to do things for them. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want them to take it. I want the government. When we vote, people are so passionate about politics, and don't get me wrong, we should be interested in politics. We should take a position, but the political structure should not decide if we're going to be moral. It shouldn't
Hello.
decide if we're, just like you get bad news on the news, all of a sudden the economy crash, because people let the news decide if they're going to go out and spend. They hold their money back, so it slows down the economy.
Yep.
People are led, and
Yep.
so the structure, the people who run the structure understand this, and we have to be a voice, especially when we have found our gifting.
Mhm.
We found our
Mhm.
gifting. We have to be a voice
That's
to
right.
show people this is what you can do to empower yourself, and
Yep.
that's what we want to bring to the table.
Yep. And what's so sad about this is that people have been trained to think a certain way, to be a certain way. And I'm always advocating for, let's teach our kids how to think for themselves,
Critical
because it is
thinkers.
their mind. Critical thinking, yeah. That social, emotional, and conflict resolution. Even adults have problems with conflict resolution.
Well, because they weren't taught as children, and when they became adults, we expect all of a sudden it's like every other social phenomenon that we're dealing with. Slavery, you have people that come out of slavery as, okay, get a house, and a yard. You lived in a shanty, a yard. Keep your yard. Look, well, you never had a yard, and you can't expect people to come out of trauma. Homeless people, you have. If someone comes back from the military, we take them through a process to transition them back into civilization, because they dealt with trauma
Yeah.
when they were
Yep.
in a theater of war, in the theater of battle,
And
and
not
we
just
have to do that with people in general.
Yeah, and not just people that are in the military, but also people that have been in prison.
Yeah,
And I'm going to bring up a powerful interview coming up shortly. We just need to schedule.
I have
Um,
something for that.
oh, okay. Well, with that, the people that have been let out of prison and that are on probation, they're denying them mental health care. And
Oh,
I'm not going to blame the system. Again, I'm blaming those who are running the system in the state of Indiana, in the state of Illinois, and many others. And what's
it's
even worse is
national.
it's a total, it's like a plague. It's happening everywhere. And so these politicians, and you all know who you are, and if you feel some kind of way, that's you, not me. You're convicted. I hope that's what you're
I ain't
feeling.
running for nothing.
Me either. I'm running for the righteousness, the righteous
Right.
path. That's what I'm running for. But you know what? Makes me wonder, what are you all doing to make sure that these inmates are treated with humanity while they're there, and
Well,
when they are released, they're given the services that they need, especially if they've been there 15, 20, 30 years? Do
this
they
is
know
the
how to live
question.
out here?
This is the question. First of all, how do we create an environment that, because we know we are products mainly of our environment. How do we
Mhm,
shift
mhm,
environments? And then for people who are already in especially as far as incarceration, they're already in that situation. How
mhm,
do we end recidivism? And you first of all, you have to get into the heart where people are. You have to
mhm.
go to the place where their issues really are. And what we're doing, if it's prison, if it's we're talking about politics, if we're talking about healthcare, we deal with the surface stuff. We deal with symptoms, and we keep addressing symptoms and addressing symptoms. It's because it feels like it's a immediate gratification.
Right, right. It's putting the band-aid
we
on.
we think that's the fix,
Mm,
and it's not. We have
mm,
to get into the heart of people, because even God doesn't want your activities and the words coming from your mouth when he doesn't
mhm.
have your heart.
That's
Love
right.
the Lord thy God first
First.
with your heart,
That's
then
right.
your mind, then your strength.
That's right.
and
Yep.
and and we have to get into a a, a habit of trying to reach the heart of people and getting to the heart of matters,
That's
pulling
it.
things out from the root, uprooting
It.
things.
That's it. Getting to that root and seeing what's going on. And just yesterday, I was watching a movie, and it led me spiritually to share it. And shout out to all my educators that are doing righteous things for our students, for our youth.
Oh,
Uh,
horribly underpaid group. Horribly, they have to be a babysitter and try and teach. But
yeah, but
and
you also have some teachers that are not there for teaching for our students.
yeah,
I,
I think it's become a battlefield, though. I,
I've
I think
witnessed.
I think you have some people who have checked out and they've given up trying, because
Mhm,
our society presents a lot of
mhm,
issues that when the child gets to the school,
mhm.
you have a lot of children that they're a handful, but they're dealing with a lot of things,
They
and we're
are.
we're not dealing with the root is shift the environment. You have to affect the culture in a community. Don't try and affect the culture when they get to school. Affect the culture at the grassroots level. That's what we've been, you and
No,
I, we've been talking about grassroots.
grassroots. And here's the thing, though. There's people that are there in the wrong place, wrong heart, wrong mindset, and so those are the ones that we need to like get rid of and place them somewhere else where they could be of services to whatever's
Right.
getting
Try
them.
try and try and retool them,
That's
and
it.
and re first. And if the retooling and the re-educating them as far as how to be more sensitive to certain things doesn't work, then yes, then we need to transition them into other things. But the problem there is what put them in position in the first place is probably politics. It
Sounds like
had
a true Christian talking to me. Give them grace first. That's pretty much what you're saying, all in a nutshell.
well,
You know
you
what?
know,
What
I
put them
believe
in
we should.
place was someone that was there that hired them, and then you wonder 10 years later, it's like, how were they in the world hired
How
when
did they
their
get there?
qualifications weren't even for that position? Honestly,
Yeah,
wrong, wrong
but
leadership. Period.
we're gonna end up turning this into a whole nother show. Uh,
It sure is. But you know what? This talks about the ground roots. So then back to where our children are going through, what we're instilling in them or not instilling in them. The movie's called Hope Lives, people. I encourage you to watch it. It touched my heart. It broke my heart because this happens for real. Because I
yeah,
have too personally been involved with students, with parents, with families, with educators myself. I'm not telling you what I read in a book or in a magazine or a newspaper articles. I'm walking that walk. I'm grassroots again. So we're going to talk about another different grassroots. You're talking about putting a band-aid on, thinking that it's fixed, right? We go to the doctor and they prescribed us 5 different medications because now we got hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, neuropathy, and then now you got 4 different medications that they're going to need a few more to take care of the side effects of what those 4 are going to do, and we don't ask that many questions.
yeah. So I'm going to try and uh, I guess do that grace thing again. It's
Yeah.
say it's so for the side effects. Let's say just because I don't want people in our medical community to get mad at us and come back and they launch with a valid point. So let's qualify that. There are side effects that are typical for some things, but side effects are possible side effects. So there are some people that may not necessarily experience a side effect, but there are a lot of people that experience side effects using pharmaceuticals. Let me say also, I'm not against doctors. Luke was a physician in the Bible. We
Yeah,
need
nothing
doctors.
wrong
If
with that.
if I break the arm,
Yeah, yeah.
Eve, I'm not coming to see you with a broken arm or a broken collarbone. Or my wife Carrie is in there waiting with some stitch. Oh my goodness. But and maybe she'd do a good job, but I'm not going to trust that if I need to be stitched up. I'm going
Right,
I'm
right.
going to see the
You went
doctor.
to the right person, right? First of all.
But there should be other things when other things are made available, especially things that are better for our body when we're talking about pharmaceuticals, things that are more in line with how God created our bodies in the first place. Those things we should put those things on blast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about so many simple things that we've gotten testimonials about from a certain technology, and then we talk about it, we share it, and along the way you have those people that, oh yeah, great, I'm on board, I'm coming in. But and then there are some other people that you would think, especially with the reach that they have, that they would want to get
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
into the community. And I'm not going to call out people right now, but I have some people in government that I've had some great meetings with, and they kind of chalk it up to, but I'm like, I'm not giving you hype. I'm giving you science. I'm
Giving you
giving
truth,
you, yeah,
facts.
I'm giving you something. There's published reports. To have a published medical report
Mm-hmm.
that's astounding. When you have a published medical report on something, and you still have someone sitting there, they'll watch the commercial with the pharmaceutical product that comes out, and the last 3 things they name when they tell you about the possible side effects, one of those things is death. The other
Yeah,
thing is brain bleeds,
yeah.
and the
Stroke,
person that they
heart
feature
attack.
in the commercial is smiling and
Yeah,
dancing, but they
yeah.
just told you taking this for your, say, psoriasis. So it's for your psoriasis, but it could kill you. That's one of the possible side
Yeah,
effects.
yeah,
This
yeah. And they
this
say
could,
that real fast. You
yeah,
notice that?
it
They
could
say
it could it could erode the wall of your stomach, but it's for your hair to grow back.
Mm.
It's but you think that they were able to launch that commercial without that product already being purchased on a large scale? The reason that they're able to launch that commercial during a prime time television show is because there are people that are buying it, even though it has
Mhm,
those type of side
mhm,
effects. But
mhm.
now we have something. You let me know when I can put it up to the camera. But we have something that we've been sharing with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned to you, Sister Eve, you need to come and you need to share with people what your experience has been on two sides of this. Because it's something that, first of all, let's mention neuropathy. Neuropathy. To deal with neuropathy, you have a kind of like a hit or miss if we go through conventional medicine. We have people, and now I'm not like making the claim that, oh, this will do this for your, but I'm just going to tell you what has happened from people that have used this technology that we're sharing. And after using this technology, have had the experience of their neuropathy, the effects of it being reversed, nerves growing back in their feet, insomnia. Insomnia is something I didn't know this until we did an event, and there was a medical community that was at a vendor's table behind us. You remember the event that we had in a nearby town here, and we were there, and they had a person from the sleep study department, I think it was, in that medical facility. And so they do sleep studies, people who deal with problems sleeping, insomnia, and other things. And they told me that there's no solution for insomnia. I didn't know that. But with that, you let me know when I can put it up to the camera. But with that, I shared this technology with someone, a pastor friend of mine. I shared a 3-day supply. He only used 1 day. He gave the other 2 days to his wife. And he was dealing with insomnia. So where it was a long time. And if you're dealing with insomnia, that doesn't mean that you lost 1 or 2 nights of sleep. That means you have a condition of not being able to sleep. And so dealing with insomnia, he used 1 day's worth of this technology. And for the next week, until he was able to buy it for himself, he only used it once. So 1 day. And after that, for a week, he was sleeping better. He found
used it 1 day. Did I hear you say used it 1 day and had
used it 1 day, and the effects from that allowed him to get sleep for the rest of the week. When the rest of the week he wasn't using it, that 1 day did something to his system where, and so I'm just telling you the effects that he tried it. After he tried it, this is what he was experiencing. So am I saying that this is what did it? No, I'm saying his body healed itself. His body healed itself. And but
people to
know, it just goes on and on and on and on. We have so many testimonials like this. And how many people do you know? And I'll let you count it. Do you know that over the past year that they were pretty young? I think you and I are young. You, I, and my wife Carrie, we're all the same age, or we're young. So
yes, we are.
With that, people in our age group that they're not here with us anymore, and maybe it was something like a heart attack. It was a stroke or something of that nature. We have something that's clinically proven, and this is something we can say because this is proven in a laboratory that it lowers blood pressure just by using this. How many people do you know who's taking blood pressure medication? And how do you feel when you take blood pressure medication? I hear it's not a fun thing. Is that the one where you're I forget there's like I know there's one like a water pill. You got to constantly go to the bathroom, but there's something with the blood pressure pill.
Right. The high chlorothiazide, hypertension pill. Then you got to get the water pill to go with that. I used to know all those names, Brother Charles, but
I don't claim that's not my that's not my arena where I claim that I could name all those things.
Oh, however, I used to, but
with that, this is clinically proven to lower blood pressure, clinically proven to balance the brain. So you have someone dealing with PTSD, CPTSD, autism. How many children in our community that have autism, and first thing doctor put, or ADD, ADHD, and they end up giving them some type of pharmaceutical and slows them
Mhm.
down, and now they're like a zombie.
Yep.
And we have something that there's no chemicals, and it's doing something that is incredible, or the result, I should say, because someone's listening, someone's watching your show right now,
I
waiting
hope
for
they're
us to say
taking notes.
something out of stride so they can come back and say, oh, they're making a claim. No, we're saying what it does.
No,
This
no.
this is what the person did. They started using this, and once they used it, this was the result that they experienced after using it. And
Yep.
it,
Go ahead and share that.
so
What,
now,
what does that look like? What are we talking about?
but the thing that what I mentioned to you, you have to share this with your audience. You have to, because it's to say that, oh, this is great, but then what happened when you were pulled in so many different directions, and so you kind of got off the wagon for a
I
while.
just, and Brother Charles, I don't like to live the I wish I could have, would have, should have, but I should have, and I didn't. And folks, you guys know that we came on before and talked about this miraculous, and I call it the miracle thing, miracle product that I started wearing 3 months in. Huge. I mean, less than that, actually, just the week in wearing the patch. But I did the most crucial thing that I should not have. But as they say, life gets in the way, folks. And I was serving. And I said, instead of using my money for this, which will help me better, that just shows the selfless heart, giving heart I have. And I'm not too, yeah, I'm gonna toot my horn. Okay. God just made me this way. Okay. And so I said, instead of spending the money on the patches, which is not a lot compared to what we spend on hair, nails, and come on, ladies, and clothing, what have you, purses, shoes, that this was actually helping other people, me spending the money there where I needed it. But I can give you a testimony. And like I told you, Brother Charles, and I'm going to share here with my beautiful audience, that big difference in me not using these patches. As you saw, Brother Charles, put it up there on the camera can. It's like a half a dollar size, right?
Let me my there it
There you
is.
go. Half a dollar size that you put it on your body. There's nothing going in. And I am one to abhor medications. I do not like taking them. I got sick off of watching how many pills my mom and dad took on a daily, per like morning, midday, and evening. And I used to be the one to put all their pills together and put them in their pill box and make sure that they get them and they take them on time. And if they miss a dose, they didn't overdose. So it would rotate and close that side for that time that was supposed to be taken. So all of that sickened me. And yes, I used to know all these names. It's almost like as soon as one passed away, that file got shut, closed,
Mhm.
deleted. And then my dad passed away in 2016, and that file got closed, deleted. And it's like,
Yeah.
I can understand what you're saying, but now these names don't pop up as quick in my mind. But in not wearing this during the time of serving, living for other things, right? I noticed things started going back to where I was before wearing these patches. How it helped me, I'm going to just say how it helped me, now where I'm at, and I'm starting to put
Yeah.
them back on. How it helped me is my brain fog was so bad that Brother Charles sent me the video, and I couldn't remember it was Brother Charles who sent me the video. I'm over here trying to look because it took me about 2 weeks to get back to what he had sent me because I was busy. I was traveling, and on my way back from New York, I had time, nothing but time, as we were driving or I was riding. And I was like, wow, this is a great video. But it didn't dawn on me to contact him right away. I came home, started getting busy doing what I do. And then I'm looking for who was that shared that video, because that was an exciting thing. I liked what it was showing that it was doing. I watched testimonials. I did so much research. I finally found out that it was Brother Charles. So I reached out to him, and I don't think I even had a couple of them to test. I think I went ahead and just ordered, to be honest. I
Yeah.
don't think I even ordered.
No, which is that's how Carrie and I signed up. Carrie and I,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I started wearing them. Within that same week, I noticed a big difference. I noticed the difference in my brain fog. It's almost like you washing your windshield. You're starting to see clearly. I can start thinking better, right? My brain fog was like disappearing. 7 days in, and I thought better, sharper, clearer. And as an interpreter, you got to be like on it, and you have to be able to retain a lot to spit it out in the foreign language. So that wasn't done as fast. I couldn't retain as much. And then I had pain on my shoulder and my collarbone. This bone right here, along with this bone, would wake me up. It'd be poking me, and that sleeping on this side would wake me up. Wearing this patch into the second week, I was like, wait a minute, I don't feel any pain. Maybe it's just me. And I, on purpose, started sleeping on that side to say, hey, thanks to me wearing this patch, that pain went away. Well, into that third week, I had bad allergies with dogs and cats, and mostly dogs because that's what family has. I went to Mexico a year ago and I took my allergy bottle because every family member, unbeknownst to me, had a dog. So, I was having allergies every day. So I would pop a pill in the morning before going to anybody's home. I was doing the same thing here, be with my grandbaby. There's a dog. And I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, here I go. Got to take a pill before I get there. With this patch, I was put to a test. Dog hair galore in a car. Before this patch, I got an allergy attack so bad that it shut my throat. I was so hoarse. My eyes were burning and itching. Thanks to this patch, the attorneys couldn't believe it. They were amazed to see that I had no attack whatsoever. And they're like, wow, that's unbelievable. All because of that patch? I said, yes. And you will see it. My daughter was vacuuming right in front of me, a foot away. No reactions to that allergy. Thanks to me wearing this patch, X39. My hair was falling out a lot. Now, guess what? It's falling a lot back again. I'm starting to slowly get in this pain back. My sciatica, it's bothering me again. Thanks to this patch, I had no issues to my sciatica. And for those of you that are suffering from sciatica, you know how that goes. You're all of a sudden walking fine, and then whoop, there goes that pain, and you're like stiff. You can't move because if you move, that it's like bam, like sharp pain, like they're stabbing you. Yeah. Thanks to that X39, no longer. Now,
no medicine going in.
No medicine, no drugs.
No chemicals.
Now I'm popping ibuprofen. I'm like, I don't
no stimulants.
No stimulants, no side effects. And the only side effect, and that's not really a side effect, folks, is because it detoxes you.
First couple days, first couple days, which you want to get that out of you.
Yeah, detox me. All the junk, all the toxins that we put in our body with everything we eat, God forbid, all the fast food we eat, the processed food we eat, that's called CANCER. I don't even want to call it, claim it. No way. But yet we're getting all these centers being built. They're getting ready for you and me. Oh, no. God forbid. Not I, said the cat. Not me. I'm going to go back.
You gotta offset it.
Yeah.
You at least offset it for the people, because you already know some people are not going to stop going to McDonald's. And surprisingly, I didn't think I would ever kick McDonald's to the curb. Portillo's is number one for me, but my palate has changed. There are certain things I just don't crave anymore. I mean, for convenience, so what? I eat whatever I want. My metabolism is fast, so I never worry about gaining weight. If I gain weight, it's because I really put forth the effort to really, and that only comes with like crazy resistance training, which I'm not interested in that anymore. But everything you just described, there's no chemicals involved.
None.
I think we need to highlight that, because you have but here's the other thing though. Here's the other thing is that there are so many people out there that, and we're familiar with this saying, there are certain people who will say this all the time. One of their birthday is today, but they say you have more month at the end of your money.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there looking for an opportunity. We have some people that are watching this right now. They're E.V.E representatives, and they want to know what's the next level, what's the next thing. They're Mary Kay, or they're this, or they're that, and this is not just something that's making a huge difference in people's lives.
That's right.
But what it is as far as an opportunity, I want the communities that are watching this not to miss this. Yeah. Don't miss this.
This is a must-have, folks.
There are people that aren't missing it. There are people who aren't missing it. And so 5 figures a week for someone who's been involved for, and I'm talking, you know who I'm talking about. So this was presented to me. The reason I didn't have anything to try, because the person that presented it to me, it was from a Zoom. They live in Florida. So they were in the nice hot weather, and it was starting to get cold here at the time. But in any case, there are more than, and people who have only began this at the latest 2 years ago, as recent as 9 months ago, and they're making 5 figures a week.
Ooh.
Because they have a group of people around them that understand the power of cooperation, right, collaboration. Mm-hmm. And that's something in this area. First of all, the politics have people so divided. Whenever you see an effort put in play to divide people, it's to control people. Mm-hmm. Whenever something is put in play to turn you off from something that would involve you collaborating and say, you need to be leery of that, because keeping you isolated, individualism that's the death to economies. I'm not talking about you not being an independent thinker. I think everyone should be an independent thinker. The Bible says, let every man be persuaded in their own mind. Right. And so you should be an independent thinker. God doesn't want you to only try and live holy because the group is trying to live holy. No, he wants you to be convicted for yourself. So be an independent thinker, but individualism is the death of us all when you don't come together. And this is a mechanism that we have found, and we're building a team. We are making sure that we are not left out of this. And this first quarter this year is there's some amazing things that are on the horizon, some new technologies that are being added to this to make this even more effective, so that this is going to reach incredible amounts of people, but the surface hasn't even been scratched.
Hasn't even been touched. Yeah. And where is this? Not just in this country, folks. It's in over 150 countries.
It's growing. It's going to keep. I hate to use this word, metastasizing, because that deals with, but that's what's happening. This is just taking over territories, and people have an opportunity not to be left out. Everyone always talks about, only if you're, in the beginning of it. That's not true. First of all, it's not true. And especially for this, because this is something that every single human being needs.
Oh, this is something, yes, you're absolutely right, that needs. Now, who wouldn't not like an extra $200 to $500 a month to begin with? Y'all know
and that's modest.
I'm not saying that I'm doing this for the money, folks. No, I'm wearing it because it helps me. And that's one of many thousands of testimonials, people. And if you want more information, right there's my website, lifewave.com/ethereallifestyle.com.
You need to contact her.
Please get a hold of me. But
but for that, real quick, I want to say for all the pastors Sister Eve, all the pastors that you come to their events and you do speaking for them, for their function, for this and this organization, everybody's grabbing at you.
Yeah.
They could change the economics. The landscape of their organizations would be completely changed. The guy that I just referred to, he and his wife, his name is Mike Hernandez. My wife and I, Carrie and I, we met with Mike, I've known Mike since 2010. But in any case, he and his wife today, right now, first of all, their income has consistently grown $55,000 per week.
A week, not a month, people.
Per week. So he's making 6 figures per month. And he only got involved in this July of 2022. So
you just gotta work it, right?
For the people that are skeptics, and they're gonna always sit on the couch and they're gonna doubt everything, and then 20 years from now they're still gonna be on the couch broke. But for those who are on purpose and they want to do something about their life, as well as about their health, about their financial situation, don't let this pass you up. But you're going to switch gears.
Great opportunity, folks. So don't miss out. Now, you guys have seen that I've been sharing, Pastor Charles, Brother Charles' website down on the bottom. Real quick, I know that your books are like spreading like wildfire. Tell us a little bit about
Zeal
those books. And then there's
zeal-book.com. And I know we were looking for pictures to put up. I don't know. Let's see if we can get that to show on the screen. It might be a little,
because of your
yeah,
backdrop.
yeah, it's not going to do it. But anyway, let them go to the website at the bottom. What's exciting about that is the book that's making rich, the blessings of the Lord that maketh rich and add no sorrow. The Naked Preacher is available in all three typical platforms, which is paperback, ebook, and now audiobook. The audiobook now gives a reach to an audience that initially I never even thought about. People, do you know how adult illiteracy, I didn't know, was like over 20%? And someone might chime in and the number may be higher from their research, but I never even thought about that as an audience. But an audiobook just opens up a whole nother stratosphere of people that this message can reach. But the Naked Preacher, that is my autobiographical. We spoke on your radio show about that, WLTH, and what was that, back in the summer?
Yes.
So this book, for people who have given up on hope, people who are living and dragging the ball and chain of life's traumas, things that have happened where you feel like your life is turned upside down, you need to get this audiobook. If you prefer the paperback, get the paperback. But this book, the testimonials that are coming back, what people are saying, how this has touched them, is not just for men. So you may see the Naked Preacher. I'm gonna get this for my husband. No, don't just isolate it to your husband. But this is something. My publisher, she, after reading chapter 1, she's in tears and she's calling her mama on the phone for something that happened when she was growing up from reading chapter 1. But this is something that after reading, it will give you courage. And the thing that's powerful is the transparency in the book. And the experience that I had, this book I wrote in the end of 2013. Wow. I wasn't going to bring it to market. For a moment, I thought I would. And then I was like, no, that was therapeutic. So I tucked it away and it stayed there. I knew if I ever brought it to market, there was going to be one chapter, the last chapter, I was going to have to rewrite, which I did. Once I did bring it to market to get it published, I ended up rewriting a couple other chapters because I want to protect the innocent. But that's how long this has been sitting. I don't drink, but it's kind of like wine. It's fermented. It's strong. It's sat and it's aged. But this is absolutely something that will give the reader the courage to venture into being transparent themselves. And from there to go into personal healing, spiritual healing, emotional healing. And then from there, allow God to restore you. Some people have given up on, they were in ministry, or they were at a church, they were in a relationship, but they've been bruised somewhere and they're stuck. They're experiencing arrested development because there's somewhere God wants to take them, but they're still entertaining those traumas and still going. This book right now, I've been having a back and forth with how do you say her name? Obasi, Nika. I think that's how you say her name, Nika Obasi. She is the community liaison for the mayor's office in Chicago, and having conversation with her because I believe also this book will help to end recidivism by putting this book as a re-entry program curriculum and putting it in place for that, so that 6 months before the person is going to be released, they have a curriculum that's based on this book, because that is something that will be very powerful for our those that are incarcerated,
Awesome.
the men and women incarcerated. The thing that's going to bless them is when they're able to really take a serious look inside, a serious look, because what really was a turning point for me that later brought the book was earlier in that year, 2013. I'm sitting at a table at a restaurant. A good friend of mine, Dr. Gerard McClendon, set up this
Gerard.
breakfast. Bishop Gerard. So he set up this meeting. It was the second time. First, I met with this person for a lunch, and then after that, Dr. McClendon set it up so that I would come back and meet him, this guy, for breakfast. This guy is the person that wrote the Grammy Award winning song Jesus Walks. His name is Rhymefest. He just got elected to the Chicago School Board in Chicago. Wow. So we're sitting at this table, 2013. We're sitting at this table, and I mean, life had flipped on me. My life was turned upside down, and every place that I had been and everything that I had done, now I had been disarmed. And I was in a state of rebellion. I was in a state of anger. All kinds of things. Get the book. You'll get the rest of it.
Yeah.
But he listened to my story. I was talking about all the things I was describing to him was what I was saying was done to me. And so I'm going through the list. I'm saying this happened and that happened and they did this and this person did that. And he sat there and he just had a calm smile on his face and just a real gentle smile like, I hear you. I hear you. And then after I took a pause, he needed me to take, you see how I talk. So he needed me to, he said, when he finally gets to take a breath, let me throw this in. But he saw that I paused. And when I paused, just a loving, he reached the soul of me when he just looked at me. But he looked at me and he said, I hear you. He said, but let me ask you, what was your part? When he said that, Sister Eve, I went physically, I went numb. And it's like I was in suspended animation. And it's like no one had asked me my part because things were so bad. Things were really bad, which, they'll find out in the book. But things were just, you read this, it's like you're reading the story of Job, and this is what was happening. And there's still some things I didn't even put in the book. But when he asked me that, it made me take inventory. Later in that year, some things I was still going through, it made me write the book. And since then, it's proven its worth to be a blessing to other people, to have that same moment like I had sitting down in that restaurant with that he's the ghost writer is what they call people that do that people are reading it and they're coming to the realization of, wow, I'm reading this and reading this is helping me connect with something that I might have done, because everybody's not the person that things happen to. Somebody is the person that did it. And that's what we have to address. We need to address that in our society, in the world, that everybody can't be the victim. Oh, they did. You're hanging out with the wrong crowd. No, sometimes you are the wrong person that people shouldn't be hanging around with.
Yeah.
But that's where we go to transparency. This is life-changing. If you have not gotten the paperback, the ebook, please get that, because the audiobook while you're driving, while you're doing laundry, while you're whatever, or maybe you have the paperback and you listen to that. And by the way, the person that did the narration, I didn't know this. So I was on the site looking for talent, is what they call it, the talent. The people you want, because I didn't want to read it myself because I'm following biblical principles. If I testify myself, my testimony is false. Prophet is not without honor except for in his own circle. So I'm just following, okay, Lord, you say that don't work. So let me not put my voice on there, even though I love to talk. But in any case, with that, I get this guy. His name is C.S. Treadway. And so he does recording, he uploads it. They're going through their quality assurance and all that. So I said, let me look this guy up on social media. So I go looking up and I find him, and I've talked to him on the phone, before we got the production going. And I find him on social media. This guy is a news anchor on TV in New York. So the station's called Pix 11. And he's been there for, I think, like 30 years or something. And so I'm like, look at God. That I could have picked anybody. But as soon as I heard his voice, something resonated inside me. I said, this is the guy. And more than that, God said, this is the guy.
This is it.
And so we connected it, and he did just a completely amazing job in the narration of the book. I mean, it has the flavor, the tone that it needs to have, so that when people listen to this, it's going to get to the soul, and people will experience healing. Someone has a niece, a nephew, a grandchild, a son, a daughter that's going through something, someone that's recently gotten divorced, their life has been turned upside down. This is the book for them. And when they finish listening to this, I mean, they're going to need a while. They're going to be in a dark room with a box of Kleenex, and it's going to take them to their knees praying. This is something that will strengthen relationships with God. I've heard people say, well, a book not going to do this, but it's the preaching of the gospel. But here's the thing. My book is my sermon.
Amen.
It's called The Naked Preacher. My book, this is me preaching to the person that's reading or listening to the audiobook, and I am preaching about Jesus Christ. He's the one that did this. He's the one that orchestrated the whole thing. Some things he allowed, some things he orchestrated, but all in all, it is to give glory to God and to help someone else. We're talking about grassroots, building people up, the health and the wellness, and now for the soul. And Sister E, the other one that I have, this is one that 100% of the people that are viewing this, they have to get. So who wants to spend more time and more money when they go and buy a car?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know you have another book that right now, a lot of people are probably looking into buying the new 2025s.
Everybody. Did you know that the automotive retail industry is 1 trillion, not billion, $1 trillion annually. I think it's 1.4, but $1 trillion plus annually. Well, where do you think they're making all that money from? From you. From you. And you're not, and the salesperson say, oh man, wow, that was really a tough deal. But you didn't get the deal you could have gotten, because you don't do it every day. Stop. There's so many people out there that they got this ego thing. No, I'm working out. I'm gonna get the deal. But I promise you, I did this for 18 years, and I'm not selling the cars now. Now I'm selling my books. But and
I'm selling the
patch. But here it is. You have people that from an ethnic standpoint. Let's deal with women, because I don't know what the ratio is for your audience, but I do know you got a lot of women plugged in. So women pay on average over the lifetime of a car ownership period, they pay $8,000 more than men. You know where that begins? It begins when they purchase the vehicle that they paid more. So they're going to pay, by the end of the year, they pay $100+ I think the number is like 114 or something like that. They pay $114 on average more per month. Look it up on Google. Go on Google right now. And so for minorities, particularly African American, but minorities pay. And again, particularly African Americans. Now, you can keep paying more money. You can keep, because you know, and I'm not talking to you, Sister Eve, I'm talking to the audience. You know how to do this. I get it. I understand. You know how to make this work. So keep doing what you're doing and keep strengthening the statistic. But African Americans pay 2% more than the Caucasian counterpart when they go to purchase a vehicle nationally. This is according to the Federal
Hey,
Reserve
Brother
of Chicago
Charles,
Bank.
keep talking. I may
Uh-huh.
get off the camera, but you keep
Yeah.
talking. Go ahead. Go
So
ahead. Federal
thank
Reserve.
you. So the Chicago Federal Reserve Bank, this is their statistic. So the African American community, why is it known as, oh, you're the, what is it, the sixth richest nation or seven? I forget what the ranking is now, because of consumerism, because of being such uh, voracious consumers. So why give more money when you buy a vehicle, when for a tool that really the cost is negligible also, but the tool that you can listen to it, it's available on audiobook, ebook, paperback. You can read the tool or listen to the tool, and you're going to save time. If you follow the steps, you're going to save time and you're going to save money. I've been out of the business since March last year, but just today, I just closed a deal. Actually, it's for my mother-in-law. She's down in Florida, and over the phone, using the knowledge that I was in the automotive retail for 18 years. And the last 10 years at two different stores, 5 years at one store in Valparaiso, Buick GMC. It was Paul Sir Buick GMC. And then Subaru was the last store, both 5 years. And at both stores, I was salesman of the month consecutively and salesman of the year consecutively. So I know what it's like to be at the President's Club, be in an organization of over 500 people and be in the top 13 of all the salespeople in the organization, to be the top salesperson out of 4 different Subaru stores. And one of the Subaru stores is the Subaru store next to the Subaru plant. So even the guy who's right there with the supply coming right out of the plant, and he's got all the cars he needs. I sold more cars than anybody in the whole organization, not to mention that, you know, that's a brand that's not a mainstream brand. So I had people in the organization that I was in, the auto group that I was in, that sold Chevys, that has much more market share than Subaru, and I outsold them. So I'm giving you information that is proven, that's going to help you put more money back in your pocket, so you can spend that money doing something for your family, doing something for yourself, taking yourself to a nicer restaurant, doing something, or just saving the money. Time is going to save you time. You could be spending that time. I worked that whole deal. I closed that deal today, a Florida deal. So the dealership is in Florida, and I'm here. I'm in the Chicago area, and it took me just yesterday and today close that deal, and I made a phenomenal deal. God blessed, a phenomenal deal for my mother-in-law. So my wife Carrie, she's down there. They're going to pick up the vehicle right now. It's a Honda CRV. But that knowledge I'm giving you as a gift. Everyone that's listening, you should be sharing this with anyone that you know that's driving a car, because they have a potential that they're going to need to buy a car one day. And why not help people save time and save money when they go to buy a car? Why not? Or strengthen the statistic. And it's just something that it's absolutely going to be the case, that if you don't know what you're doing when you go in, from the perspective of how the dealer knows how this works, you're going to spend more money. And the dealer will tell you after you spent that money, you did a good job. Oh, you're a tough customer. And you think, oh yeah, I worked that deal. Yeah, I got what I wanted. But did you really get the deal you could have gotten? Or you got the deal that you could have gotten, but it took you 3 days. And you went to the dealership. I had 2 days, and today was just to confirm the deal. Yesterday, I spent about a half hour to maybe 45 minutes total working that deal. And this is the knowledge I'm giving to you, the public, and gracing you all with this, because I want the people that I can serve, I want them to win. And so, with that, and then with the Naked Preacher, and then with the wellness technology that we have, this is just something that can be life-changing for you, for your family. And 2025, do something new. Do something that you haven't done before. Turn over a new leaf by being intentional. So as far as the wellness is concerned, something as simple as that. And I guess I should elaborate on that. You're going to wear this for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. So during your waking hours, you're going to put this on. And once you're done with it at the end of the day, after wearing it for 12 hours, you're going to take it off. You're going to throw it away. The next day, you're going to put on a fresh one. I have someone that joined the team, and they shared this with someone dealing with neuropathy. And right away, that individual reported back to him feeling a difference. They put this on. They had been already dealing with neuropathy. After wearing this, they reported back that they felt a difference. There are videos with cardiologists, and the cardiologist is the one that I'm referring to, who has the published report, a published medical report about the effectiveness, the proof that this technology, I guess we're putting people in a place where they're like, well, what is it? How does it work? This is like acupuncture. Right. This is like acupuncture without the needles.
Yes.
So it's like a Band-Aid.
Yep.
This acts as a natural mirror. We all give off infrared light. And we detect that as body heat because with our natural eyes, we can't see infrared light. So we do feel the body heat. And like my head is hot right now from all this talking, But the infrared light is basically hitting this. There are nanocrystals in there. And this acts as a natural mirror to reflect that infrared light back to the skin. And what you're experiencing is something called phototherapy. It's just like if you went out into the sunlight hits your skin, your body produces vitamin D. That's phototherapy. This is phototherapy that you can own. And every day you're getting the benefit of what you would from acupuncture. But acupuncture, you're going to get that for 45 minutes to an hour, get up, and it's a week later before you get the benefit again. The benefit is every single day for 12 hours a day. There is nothing that is like it. And what it does, it activates dormant stem cells in your brain.
Dormant stem cells. It costs a lot to have those treatments, people.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going over time, Brother Charles.
$30,000, and you have to keep getting the treatments until you get so it's 30,000 or 5,000, whatever that treatment you're getting is that per pop. But every day you're using it, it's activating dormant stem cells in your brain. And if you're an accountant and tax season is coming up, you need everything up there. You need all the neurons to be firing. You need to activate the stem cells in your brain. If you're a lawyer and you got that big case that's coming, you need the stem cells activated in your brain. I should call out some politicians' names because we got a lot of them that they need. You need school boards and all these. But we also have something. This is a powerful economic tool, economic vehicle.
Yes,
Sister Eve. This is what and I'm a put a sock in my mouth.
Yeah, because we've already gone over time. We're only going to be a half hour, but this is an educational kickoff for the new year 2025, people. These are solutions. These are things that we need to take heed to. We should come first. When you're in a plane, what do they say? Put the oxygen machine on you first. Put that on you. Put that.
Hey, we can fund. They talk about defunding. No. We can fund the police using this. Yeah. We can fund the PTA using this. We can fund things using this absolutely while helping people gain better health.
That's right. And you can see there lifeway.com/etherealifestyle.com. And you also go brother Charles, where can we find your book once again, your books?
So they're on Amazon. My website is zeal-book.com, like the zeal of the Lord.
You see it right there on the bottom of the screen.
At the bottom of the screen, zeal-book.com. If you put The Naked Preacher by C.E. Burns Jr. in your web search, it'll bring up the links. So the Naked Preacher, and then the Consumer's Little Black Book for buying cars. Save yourself some money.
Well, I'm looking to buy a car real soon, so I'm going to be knocking on your door because I don't think I can read the book that fast. Well,
It's the audio. Get the audio book.
Get the audio book.
Get the audio book.
All right. Well, Brother Charles, thank you so much for your education, for your knowledge and expertise on
Let's
what
help
you
people
know how
win.
to do. That's it. And we're in it
Help
to
them
win
win.
it, folks. 2025, the year of Jubilee. It's my year, your year, Pastor Charles' year. It's all of our year. Jubilee.
If they don't win, it's because they didn't listen.
And they didn't want to do the work. You know
That's
what?
it.
They like our results, what we have, but they don't want to put the work in, right? It's like saying, I want to go to heaven, but I don't want to die.
Right.
Okay. Well, on that note, thank you
And
so
I
much.
don't want to listen to the preacher.
Exactly. To the naked preacher, the naked
Yeah.
truth, you know, and the truth is only one. And so thank you so much for what you do, Brother Charles. And we're going to bring you back again in the next couple of months and see what else is happening in your world. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. God bless.
God bless you. Thank you once again. Wow, that was a lot of great information, wasn't it? It went a little over time, but it's well worth it when we are emptying out, bringing in the educational side to your home, to your cell phone, to your computer, to wherever you are in the world. So thank you for joining me here. Real Talk with E.V.E. You know, I come on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to bring in more guests, more solutions on this show, and we want to thank you. Happy New Year. It is a brand new year. Let's do new things, all right? Let's do greater things in this year. So it's all up to you. You make that choice. Peace to you. Thank you for watching once again here on Real Talk with E.V.E.